The Arizona Coyotes are preparing for their rematch with the Florida Panthers. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
You're Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Coyotes, #1 daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes. I'm your host, Robyn Leoni, alongside Matthew Jacobson. We want to thank everyone for making this show your first lesson every day. We are free and available every way you get your podcast, including on Amazon Music. We can get it ad-free, especially if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber. We got a great show on today's episode. We are talking about the Coyotes' first game of their Southeast road trip. Matthew, going through the Southeast U.S., where, apparently it's still Sunbelt, so by Canadians' logic, hockey shouldn't work there, but it does. But
it doesn't, though. They didn't just make the cup or have good attendance. It doesn't work there. Doesn't work in Texas either, but they wanted to go to Houston, so I don't know.
Hey, you know what? Like I said a little bit off the air, half of Canada is here in Arizona during the winter. So, and same thing, half of Eastern Canada is in Florida during the winter. So,
I have some funny, I'm gonna start the episode off with a tweet that I made. Connor Ingram has surrendered 69 goals this season. Exactly. He's not allowed to give up anymore. If he does, he's a traitor. He has to carry the team. We're starting off the episode hot.
My silence should say a lot. That I just been silent for that. Like,
I just want it on record. I got paid to say that. I have peaked. My career has peaked. I've already been contemplating leaving the show at the end of the season. I think I'm just going to solidify that decision.
We've already talked about this. Your contract says you can't leave.
I spoke to my agent, and my agent said, "Lol, he doesn't exist. It's my imaginary friend." Anyway, we have to jump into this, Robyn. This is a rematch, and it's funny. So the last 10 games, that furthest game away for both these teams was their last matchup with one another. And I perhaps I was too harsh with the NHL app. It's useful. So the Coyotes last 10 games, 4-5-1, beating Pittsburgh, Nashville, Minnesota, and Boston. Only one of those games going to overtime. And the Panthers are 6-2-2, beating Nashville, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Colorado, Vegas, and the Arizona Coyotes. Team stat wise, Robyn, these teams are very similar. Once again, Coyotes 23% on the power play, 10th overall in the league. Florida 22.2%, that's 12th. Penalty kill, Florida 82.2%, that's 9th. Coyotes, never mind, not as close as I would like, but 79.6%, they're 20th in the league. It's amazing what a couple percentage points really throws you off. Goals for Coyotes, they're 3 flat. 19th in the league. Florida 3.17, that's 15th. Florida's giving up 2.61 goals, that's 4th. Coyotes 2.93, that's 13th. Pretty comparable numbers overall, Robyn. Even with the players to watch in the last 5 games, Keller has 7 points, 4 of those being goals. Jonathan Dursey has 5 assists. Matty Tkachuk has 4 assists. Sam Reinhart has 4 goals. Sam Bennett has 6 points. And the goaltending, Robyn. The goaltending. Connor Ingram, 17-9-1 record. Bobrovsky, 21-10-2. Connor Ingram, 2.47 goals against. Bobrovsky, 2.55. Save percentages. Ingram once again owns Bobrovsky, 919 versus 908. And both teams' records, because I'll throw it in here anyway. 23-19-3 for the Coyotes. 28-14-4 for Florida. Take it away for a little bit.
I'm looking at some comparisons myself. I'm taking a look at the NHL Edge stat site that I don't think we use enough. It's interesting because the Florida Panthers I mean, we already know they're the better team. I'm just looking at it on based off NHL Edge. They're like, they're better in just about everything. I think the only thing that that they don't have better than the Coyotes on this map, on this list that I'm looking at, is their shooting percentage. The Coyotes are in the 81st percentile of on shooting percentage, and the Florida Panthers are far and away on a whole different side of it. Like it is amazing. Let's see, and it's interesting because that's based off percentile, but if you look at the actual percentage, 11.1% shooting percentage, versus for the Coyotes versus 9.3% for the Florida Panthers. So maybe that's something that can go in their way, but the only thing is goaltending is also different, right? Teams they play different.
The Coyotes, for context, play in Arizona. Therefore, bad. I'm surprised these boys can even go out there, tie their skates right, and shoot the puck. That mullet magic, though. The Coyotes do need to, if I'm being serious for a second, let me pull back up the standings here. The Coyotes definitely do need to fix the road record, and they put in a little bit of work to improve it. Full like credit there. But so far right now, you've given me the eye twitch thing. The road record is 8-10-3. It's a lot closer to 500 with a home record of 15-9-0. Also forgot to mention this in the last episode, so I'm going to throw it in here. For wild card and below teams in the West, the Coyotes are one of two with a positive goal differential. They have a +5. LA is a +25. The Coyotes, solid overall team effort, about mediocre record in the last 10. Decent, just under 500 road record. I don't see them beating Florida, but it would definitely help them continue to improve that. And if you can get your away record around 500 and keep winning at more like they are, playoffs.
I mean, if they can get a nice start to the road trip, as I mentioned multiple times over the course of this season, the everydayers will know this, is the Coyotes are the kind of team in which they will make you work for that win. So, yeah, sure, maybe the Coyotes don't win this game against the Florida Panthers, but they will. I just want to see them make the Florida Panthers work for that win. Really, try, actually make them try hard, and that's been the Coyotes' mantra all season long, right? Even though the Coyotes have won these many games, 23 wins, it's been impressive, but.
It has been impressive. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just I'm looking at other things and notes and whatnot for my personal channel and for this show, and for as much more as Toronto is paying their players throughout the same 45 games, same amount of wins and like 5 more points. So I got distracted. That's on me. You want to set us up for the live ad read, so then we could talk about keys to the game, get back on track in this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We know what we're gonna do is we are going to get to the keys to the game. We're gonna hear what Matt says are the most important pieces the Coyotes need to do to try to win this game over the Florida Panthers, but we'll get to that right after a quick word from our sponsors on today's show.
And today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search. Match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. When I was looking to hire someone, it was so slow and overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. I'm going to hire a lot of people today, Robyn. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is consistently learning from your preferences. So the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join over 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners to this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your job more visibility at Indeed.com/lockedon. Let's go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Indeed you do. That last part wasn't in the script. I just wanted to yell it. Anyway, Robyn.
Anyways, let's get to the keys to the game, Matthew. It
Keys.
could be an interesting
keys,
one.
The car keys.
Yes.
I'm not very good at the dad jokes. My wife keeps trying to convince me otherwise. Anyway, keys to the game. You know what? I'm just gonna say what's actually on my mind, and Robyn can deal with the fallout. Number one, make sure Jason Zucker doesn't get killed. That needs to be number one. Number two, limit their shots, because this team is averaging 33 shots allowed per game. They need to limit you gotta give Ingram a little bit to work with. Florida's a really solid team. Limit the amount of shots, limit the overall quality of scoring chances. And number three, I kind of feel like has to be that offense that loves to come and go as it pleases actually show up, because we've seen this offense quite a bit this season. Show up, either it's alive or dead. There's no in between. It's either you're scoring 5 goals or you're getting 2.
No, absolutely. Then I like to think, goaltending is always one of the most important pieces, right? To me, it's hard. Again, it's the easy cop out. You can just say goaltending. I think you can a lot more confidence. And I mentioned this in the Locked On NHL show. I feel like Connor Ingram is feeling a lot more confident with the defense ahead of him, but the defense ahead of him still has a long way to go in terms of the fact that they need to limit the quality of chances, because if you allow Florida to get any high danger chances, the game will be over before the first half of the first period.
Yeah, let's add Dumba might not play. Stetcher is out 4 to 6 weeks. I think I'm missing one. You have a couple of not insignificant defensive injuries. That's why I'm going to pretend I was thinking deep and 3-dimensionally when I made that key, that very basic key. But when you have the injuries you have, and you're probably going to have Soderstrom playing in this game if you still go with the 7 defensemen, lack of experience, lack of your upper echelon defensive talent, or at least the lack of the overall depth of your defensive unit is going to be a big key here and moving forward until these guys get healthy, or at the very least until we see if Soderstrom is NHL ready right now and can fill that spot. But it's still going to be testing the depth and stability of the defense.
And I feel like it's a huge test of that. And might talk about it a little bit more after we do predictions a little bit later in the show. Because it kind of it'll go with the theme of what I'm going to do to end the show, but I'll mention it now, is the fact that this Southeast road trip is going to be tough because those are all solid teams. Tampa's not as good as they were when they won the Stanley Cup, but they're still a decent team. Right, for example, the Coyotes are the team that's kind of they're trending up, but despite there being the injuries, they still need to prove a lot of things, and I feel like they want if they can get past this by the time they're a lot of some of their players get back, maybe Dumba comes back sooner rather than later because it seems like his is not too bad. Again, stretches out for a little bit longer. And then for the forwards aspect as well, once Barrett Hayton finally comes back, we're still probably a few weeks out from that. But if they can survive tough gauntlets like this before major players come back, I will start to be a little more confident a team can like this can make the playoffs. So that's why I think that was like when you made it key like that, like your keys like that, they logically make sense. Yeah, sure, you might be speaking emotionally for the most part, but logically they still make sense.
I like to think so. I like to think I stumble my way into some decent points every now and again.
Yeah, definitely. I think special teams is going to be another thing though, because as long as the Coyotes don't make dumb penalties, because I feel like that was a trend that started coming up this as a theme this month, as a similar thing that they did last year. Just stop making dumb penalties, like those freaking too many men penalties. Just stop.
I was just thinking that too. I was legitimately just like, I mean the too many men penalties coming back. I still have a week before I can complain about the 11-7, so I can't say anything else. I still got a week.
Yeah, say what you will about the 11-7. I don't like it either, but in certain situations, it works.
There are advantages and disadvantages with every single system. Advantages and disadvantages, but again, I can't say anything else.
Any other maybe like a bonus key that you can think of? I know we usually do 3 keys, but
well, considering one is don't let Jason Zucker die, I'm pretty sure I should give an actual key. Do you want to just do generic special teams so we can do the patented get pucks deep, get pucks in the net, and win hockey games?
Get pucks deep, get pucks in the net, and win hockey games.
I love those so much. I want to recreate one of those. Any Hoosers.
You know what we need to do? You need to come to my my Saturday night league, and we're gonna make that. You're gonna be a part of. Help me make a video for that.
And here's a word from the sponsor on today's show.
Hey. Okay. The fact that we actually put that there. Oh my god. You know what? Might as well. Today's episode is brought to you by Sleeper. The halfway point of the NHL season is here. The All-Star break coming up. Regardless of where we are in the current standings, I want to remind you that you can win big by playing daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper, the official daily fantasy app of the Locked On NHL Network. Sleeper is the number one choice for daily fantasy sports, and especially daily fantasy hockey. Because of Sleeper, you can win 100 times your cash in daily fantasy hockey contests. All you got to do is pick what players are going to win to take that 100 times money. You can play alongside your friends, and beyond just hockey, daily fantasy, NFL, NBA, MLB, college football, all available on Sleeper. You can talk in a group and team functionality, connect with other fans, not just your friends, but a lot of other fans. Entries can be made under a minute. All you have to do is pick whether or not studs like Clayton Keller or Logan Cooley will record or more or less than their Sleeper projections, like goals, assists, saves, plus, minus, and more in a given game. To win 100 times to bet on Sleeper, you need to correctly predict the outcome of 8 player stats. You heard me, Coyotes fans. You can win 100 times your money playing daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper. So start paying attention and nail your picks so you can start winning big. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's code LOCKEDONNHL. Please see for terms of use and details and locational availability.
Live. Coming at you live from the West Valley. Robyn, what's the best date night spot in Arizona? The Coyotes just tweeted this out.
The best date night spot in Arizona.
Yeah?
It's hard for me because I don't go on dates.
Well, ironically, my wife and I's first date was at a Coyotes preseason game in Glendale.
Aww.
I wanted to throw that in there. It's always fun when I throw in their social media stuff to help make it a little more interactive for the viewers.
I hear there was some really, I'll say this one. If someone wanted to take me out to a date, if it's something that had, for me, that gets able to see a beautiful view of the sunset, that's the best, one of the best things. I love sunsets.
You know what? I'll tell a story. I'll tell a story real quick. 30 seconds. So this one girl I was dating years ago, over 5 years ago, way before I met my wife. She wanted to go like stargazing, and we couldn't like find like a good spot. We ended up going back to my place. I had her hang out in the living room for a bit. I went into my room, turned on Skyrim, looked up at the night sky. I was like, all right, come back in. Come back in.
Lol.
I am just as lame as everybody else.
I mean, sure.
I am lame. Anyway, Robyn, do you want to do picks? Do you want to do some road trip thoughts? That distracted my ADHD riddled brain.
Oh no, that's it. I get it. Let me load it up. It's gonna take me a couple of seconds because it just my tab just died on me. So I'm reopening the tab so I can get you the lines from FanDuel Sportsbook, and I got the lines available now. The Arizona Coyotes, Matthew, are 1.5 underdogs at -140 on that puck line. Money line at +176. -215 in favor of the Panthers. Total points is back at 6.5.
Oh my! How? I have a couple different thoughts about this right now. You know how the Coyotes offense either shows up or it doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
Even the last game, I think, was 5 goals shared between them. The Coyotes are riding a little bit of momentum right now. There's going to be a bit of a bone to pick with Florida. You see it pretty often that when these teams play just 2 times a year, if the road team wins the first game, the road team tries harder to win the second game. I would recommend putting $10 down on the Coyotes. Let's say this is like a 5-4 final in regulation. Clayton Keller is going to pot a couple of goals, and let's say Logan Cooley gets 1 assist.
I like it. So you're going Yotes on the money line and take the over?
Mm-hmm.
Is this what I'm hearing?
I'm going to say take the over and see how poorly this ages.
It's surely a bold bet.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out for him. I will give the Yotes some credit. I will take the points, so I'll give them that +1.5.
All right.
But I'm taking the under.
Fair.
I am taking the under. The final to me, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
3-2 Panthers.
Fair. Robyn is the cynic. I am the painful optimist. I got the golden retriever vibes.
It's very different than, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, again, all the everydayers who've been here for a long time, would know the difference between when I was the optimist and Carl Pavlak was the cynic.
I like to think I have my moments still of still trying to be more realistic, but I end up just being the blind, hopeless optimist on the show way too many times.
Yeah, I feel like that means that because I feel like I have to balance that out. So I have to go back. I have to be the realist.
You're just a pessimist. It's fine. You can embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace the hate.
I'm a pessimist in certain situations.
There you go.
I am a situational pessimist.
Fair. Very, very fair. You have any other thoughts today, Robyn?
Yeah, no, I think really quick, let's talk about this, as I mentioned, this road trip. It really does mean a lot. I'm looking back once again, and I mentioned it on yesterday's episode. If you listened to it late last night, we had our late night posting. They got some tough games coming up. Like I said, they got the Panthers tonight, and they got the Tampa Bay Lightning on tomorrow, back to back. It's not going to be an easy, let me see if I don't know why freaking Google's deciding to be dumb right now. So look, the next, how far should I go? How many games do you want me to go?
12
games. That's a really odd number, but all right. The next 12 games: the Panthers, the Lightning, the Hurricanes, the Golden Knights, the Predators, the Flyers, the Coyotes, the Wild. I looked at the bottom. The Wild, the Hurricanes again, the Avalanche, the Oilers, the Maple Leafs, the Jets. How many did I get there? Yeah, that was 12,
11.
right?
I'll say 11 just to throw you off.
Definitely wasn't an odd number. I know that. Hey, they play the Canadians on my birthday.
They say play on your birthday. They stopped playing on my birthday years ago.
Yeah, but it's a road game. So that's lame.
Yeah, but at least you can do like a party road trip or something. I don't know.
Do go to a bar and celebrate my birthday that way. It is going to be my golden birthday, so.
What are you, 70? Golden?
No, golden birthday, turning the year of the day you were born.
My golden birthday was good in April. It's going to be 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to jump off a bridge. Anyway. I'm old, Robyn. I am very old, and people laugh at me when I say I'm old, but my back hurts every day. So that constitutes old.
No, it's funny because I know, I still like to think I'm young, but working in the service industry as my day job, I have made to feel old because I work with high school kids a lot and some really young college kids. So I'm like,
oh, it's cringe.
Someone's like, yeah, I'm just celebrating my 18th, and I'm like,
that was a decade ago. It's all downhill from here.
It's ridiculous. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make here as we close things off, those are the next 12 games. Very few of those games I see as games that are quote easier games.
What do you think the record's going to be? Quick. Shotgun to your head. Record for the next 12 games. Just throw it out.
8-4. Just kidding. No, it won't be.
No,
8-4.
No, you said 8-4-0. That's your official. You got to stick to it. It's 8-4-0.
Yeah, okay. 8-4-0. That's gonna be a tough one, but okay. I'm gonna say
4-8-0.
Screw it. Screw it.
Just to be the exact opposite. It's gonna go 4-8-0, and they're gonna sell off.
What about 0-4-8?
You know what? I'll take that because that's points. That's points. I'll take 4 and 8. Because, like, realistically, let's talk about this for like 30 seconds. I'm running out of time. So the Coyotes are 15-9-0 at home, 8-10-3 on the road. Let's say they take 2 more of those road games, which they could have done earlier in the season, into overtime. That's 8-5. That's 2 more points during the playoffs right now. Of those 9 games they lost at Mullet, let's throw 3 of those into overtime. That's another 5 points right there. They are well into wild card 1 at that stage. Ahead of the Kings.
I'll take it.
If you're gonna lose, go to overtime. Just if you're gonna lose, go to overtime. It's all I
steal
ask.
The point. Just steal the point. Except though when you're playing the Predators. Beat the Predators.
Yeah, okay. The teams that are below you, beat them. Everyone else lose in overtime. I want this team to go like 32-0-50. Like that. That's how it needs to go.
No, I think realistically, looking at the game, the Predators, the Wild, the Oilers, out of those 3 games should be wins.
Predators, yes. Wild, yes. Oilers, very 50-50. Oilers are ahead of them in the standings.
It's a toss-up because they are surging, but I still count it as a quote should be win. Not like a gimme win. I won't consider anything a gimme win except with maybe the Sharks.
Ottawa, Buffalo, Columbus, Anaheim,
Chicago.
I'm just being a jerk.
No, but again, looking at all the other ones, the Panthers, tough game. The Lightning, tough game. The Hurricanes, tough game. Golden Knights, really tough. Flyers, tough. I think Hurricanes can Avalanche tough.
Good on the Flyers this year. Seriously.
Maple Leafs can be a 50-50. The Coyotes have the Maple Leafs number. I don't think. When was the last time they lost to the Maple Leafs? It's been a long time.
I think I was in diapers.
It's been a long time. So we can chalk that up as a win. The Jets, tough game. They have yet to beat the Jets this season. So we'll see.
I want them to let me say Atlanta Thrashers again, so they got to beat them at least once this year.
Yes, that needs to be the case. But other than that, though, what are your final thoughts?
It's gonna be a tough road trip. There is a realistic possibility it's 0-3-0 on this road trip, or 0-4. Would it be 0-4-0?
No, it's the 3 games. Yeah, because then it's away Panthers, Lightning, Hurricanes, and then home to host the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, it's a realistic possibility they can go 0-3-0. So like if you're gonna lose all 3, go 0-0-3 at least. Make me feel better.
Yeah, I think realistically, maybe like realistic out of the next 3. And this will be my final thought on it. Yotes take will be like, I will be happy. I'll be extremely happy with 1-1-1.
Oh my god! Every road trip moving forward, 1-1-1. It's like the last road trip. Every road trip, 1-1-1.
No, honestly though, if they get that, it just will speak to the term that you've been using all season, the painful mediocrity that this team has been.
Can't wait till next year. That's all I got. You know what? Take it away. My wife's bringing home pizza. All right. I'd like to go eat some pizza.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, like, comment, subscribe if you have yet to already. We're available everywhere you get your podcasts, including on YouTube, Sirius XM, and ad-free on Amazon Music. Speaking of Sirius XM, be sure to tune in to tonight's game against the Florida Panthers on Sirius XM. We'll probably have the channel posted. Otherwise, you can, again, all you got to do is open the Sirius XM app, search up Coyotes for the game. Locked On Coyotes, if you want to find us on the podcast, though. Find us on social media, though. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/LockedOnCoyotes, and on X at LO_Coyotes. I'm personally at Robyn_Leano. That's Robyn with the Y _LEANO. Carl Pavlock Not hear him anymore. I don't know why I mentioned his name.
Wow. The phantom co-host. Wow, you don't get a tip of the hat.
I don't know how I
I'm gonna
did that.
ditch you now.
I don't know how I did that. I'm sorry. Matthew Jacobson is at the AZ Sports.
I don't forgive you.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Autopilot. That was like he hasn't been the co-host since before the vote. We were talking last episode 8 months. 8 months.
Look, I've got a tough last couple of weeks. Okay,
I get it, but I'm gonna go eat pizza and cry.
Anyways, Matthew Jacobson's at the AZ Sports Guy. Interact with us. We might interact right back. Answer your questions on a future episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. If you like what you heard, don't leave a review. And once again, thanks everyone for listening to today's episode. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy. And don't forget to howl on.